Hello and welcome back to episode 8 of the Julii Very Hard campaign, and we've got a lot going on right now. So we're up to 11 regions controlled. We just took Carthage, which is now being attacked by the Spanish, so we have to deal with that siege at some point. We also have Thapsus under siege, which was originally taken by the Scipii, but they didn't take care of it, so it revolted, and now it's under the control of the Carthaginians again, which means we have another chance to secure Thapsus. And we did manage to take Leptis Magna using the strength of Julianus Scipio's army. He was neighboring us, and so he took the city for us. So there's a very real possibility that we're going to be able to hold all 3 of these North African settlements, which is a huge blow against the Scipii. Very exciting for me. As always, we're dealing with counterattacks from the Gauls in northern Italy. Manius Julius is on his eternal quest of defending us from Gallic attacks, but that's pretty under control. We're currently under siege at Mediolanium, but he has a pretty decent ragtag army here, so he shouldn't have any difficulty fighting off Luco the Wrathful, Brigomaglos of Orosio, and any of these captains that are floating around in the area. Slightly more concerning, we have Captain Scarus of the Thracians with 6 units of Falksmen, 3 units of militia hoplites who's besieging Sagestica, and we deployed Decius Julius to try to fight them off, but I'm a little bit concerned. Falksmen are pretty tough, and we don't have that much heavy infantry, so we're trying to bring more reinforcements in from Patavium, but this is going to be a close battle. We need to be pretty careful with our mercenaries. And as soon as he has defeated Captain Scarus, we have another Thracian army. Gaidres has another 12 units, and he's right next to Salona. Most likely he's going to go up to Sagestica and try and take that. That's what they've been doing so far. So far, 2 armies have gone up that way, which is what I would prefer. Hopefully he doesn't go straight to Salona, because that would be significantly harder to defend. We'd have to run all the way down here and fight him off at Salona. So yeah, the Thracians are really annoying right now. I honestly hope that the Brudii are able to counterattack against them and make some progress and just at least take Bilazora, decrease the pressure a little bit from the Thracians, because they're really annoying right now. Speaking of the Brudii, we are in a pretty direct competition with them over chopping up Greece. They have Thessalonica and Apollonia, they have Kydonia, and they have an army besieging Thermon, which is a shame because I did kind of want Thermon. Although it is the smallest town in this area, it's probably the least valuable. It would have been nice to have it just because it would be kind of a barrier between the Brudii and these really nice Greek cities. So at this point, there's a very small chance that the Brudii will lose this battle. Obviously, there are only 5 units inside of Thermon, and they've brought a pretty big army. There are some pretty big Greek armies in the area, so if they were intelligent and they rally their troops and they try and fight off this Captain Flavius, it's possible that they can save Thermon, in which case I would be able to go grab it. But I'm not getting my hopes up for that, so I'm hopefully going to be able to get Marcus Julius onto this fleet and get him down to this portion of the Greek peninsula. It's really tough with this rebel navy that we've been dealing with. It keeps trying to sink my fleets. So I'm trying to be really careful and not lose Marcus Julius and his whole army on the open seas. But hopefully next turn we can sneak him onto this fleet and get him over to near Corinth and Sparta. And we can start taking these better cities, because I want to get Corinth, Sparta, and Athens at a minimum. If I lose Thermon and Larissa to the Brudii, it won't be the end of the world. Now, speaking of, I think we may need to build some reinforcements for our fleet. We really need to get a shipwright going because these biremes are so trash. They're not cutting it. But let's build a bireme in Ariminum and we'll send it down to reinforce slightly. We just need to sink these couple of rebel fleets. You only have to beat them once to sink them, and then this area will be a lot safer. We're really not under threat from any of these tiny Greek navies, but oh wow, I just noticed there's a full stack army on this one boat sitting inside of the port at Thermon. And it's really good with a lot of armored hoplites with experience. Oh, good morale, attack of 13, defense of 25. These guys are terrifying. They have archers, they have militia cavalry. This is a really nasty army. So that actually really changes things. If they take this army and land it right here, they very well could defend Thermon. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that next turn. Hopefully Marcus Julius avoids conflict with that army. It would be fine if we have to fight them, but I don't want to use all of his strength fighting armies in the field. I'd rather use it taking these really valuable cities. So we'll see what happens when we end this turn. Hopefully nothing with the Greeks. Nothing with the Greeks. Okay, they didn't attack us. Oof, okay. Thrace really wants to do this right now. Captain Scarus. I'm just glad there isn't a general here, but this is a little bit terrifying. 6 units of Folksmen. Attack of 13, defense of 10. Good morale. 3 units of hoplites. The hoplites shouldn't be a problem. We have a lot of missile troops, but we need to be really smart about the Folksmen. Okay. It says our army strength ratio is 2-to-1. I don't buy that, but we do have a general. Decius Julius. Oh, he has gloomy though. -1 morale for all troops on the battlefield. That's really tough. Okay. I think between his command star and his management scroll, that offsets morale by 1. So I think we're at net 0 morale. So at least we have that going for us, but all right, let's try this. All right, we want Decius Julius under our control, as that is the primary army here. And let's see what we can pull off. Now, this will be a really interesting battle because they are choosing to actually try to enter the city through the gates. And we only have 1 unit inside the city. Our reinforcements are coming from outside the city. And I believe our reinforcements are going to come from the north. So we just need to delay them at these gates for as long as possible. And then we'll get our reinforcements in through the north gate of the city. And we'll probably just have to fight on the city center. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm a little concerned that our bigger army is the reinforcing army, because I think we're gonna have a worse morale profile because it's a reinforcing army. I don't think it counts as like the primary leader on the battlefield, so we might have worse morale for that. But we might also not have to deal with the morale debuff from Gloomy, because I'm not sure my general will act as a proper general, since it's a reinforcing army. So we'll just have to see. I think the defense of the city will be in the hands of this random captain. So hopefully he's really competent. But let's disable skirmish mode. We want to get as many missiles in as possible on this unit of Folksmen at the front gates. At least they don't have a lot of armor. They have some armor, which you wouldn't think looking at them, but I think they have some armor stat. Let's start the battle. Oh, don't attack. Yeah, their armor stat is 3. So they have some armor, but that's not that much. We should be okay to get some damage in on them. Let's get a nice angle for getting as many missiles as possible. And right away, we want our troops from the reinforcing army to just sprint. Everybody, go, go, go. We want to get them moving. Okay, so they're moving now. Shouldn't be too long until they're inside the city. And let me give them more specific directions than that. So let's take the city center. We'll get our Principes on the city center. Our Illyrians probably will... Honestly, I kind of want to get everyone just jammed onto the city center so that nobody can break. It'll be a little bit messy in there, but for now, we're going to go with that as our instruction. Let's check on our Illyrians here. Are they in range yet of the Folksmen? Yes, they're starting to fire. Are we doing some good damage? Yeah, actually, doing some good damage. First volley killed about 15, and I think they have 4 or 5 volleys in total before they run out of ammo. So they're going to do a good amount of damage to this unit. It's down to 103. Honestly, run over here and get a couple volleys into this unit of Folksmen. If we can get several units slightly weakened, I think that's better than firing all of our missiles into one unit. So real quick, get drawn up right here, run into position. We don't have a shot, come on. We do want to get these shots off before the walls break. May not be able to. We may have to just go to the city center. You in range? Not yet. These guys don't have great range. Okay. The gates are broken. You've got a shot. I'll let them fire a little bit. You firing over here? Okay, they're still firing at the initial unit. Oh, this unit over here is getting shot by a tower, so that's good. This unit of Folksmen has taken 30 casualties. We're just going to let these Illyrians fire their remaining missiles. They're still firing at this first unit, but they're very weak now. This unit is down to 45. Okay, so we fired one volley into this unit over here, I think it's time to run if we can. If these guys get caught up in fighting, that's not the end of the world. We don't really need them to last. I mean, I almost want to just try and break this unit of Volksmen now. We may have to. It's shaken. I think we're going to lose this unit of Illyrians, though. That's okay, though. Their main goal here is just to buy time for the troops coming in from the reinforcing army. So yeah, this unit is wavering. They're going to break. They're all going to die here. But this is just buying us some time. We have kind of a blockade at the gates here. I should have sent these units in one at a time. But we do have a good amount of strength inside the city already. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to send another unit out to skirmish? Yeah, let's send another unit out to skirmish. Actually did a good amount of damage with those missiles before. So we'll get our first unit of Illyrians drawn up in the street. And we're just going to have them maybe a little bit closer. Right here. Just draw up here. This unit of Volksmen will break. So that's going to be a morale debuff for the rest of the army. We currently have one unit that's broken, but they're about to make it to the city center. Okay, guys, do not skirmish. We don't want any skirmishing. We want our units to hold their ground. There we go. So that unit of Volksmen broke. Good thing that we did do a lot of damage to them at the gates. And let's get a couple of units of Illyrians drawn up here. We'll do 3 units at first. These 2 units we're going to leave on the city center, and we're going to have them not use any of their javelins yet because we want to save those for later when we're fighting those hoplites. So these units of Illyrians, go ahead and get some shots in, hopefully. Can we fire? If we get some shots in, we're going to do a ton of damage, and this first unit's going to break. They're kind of hesitant to throw missiles because they don't want to hit our allies. Let's go ahead and have our Principes fire at will. They're in position now. Let's retreat these 2 units of Illyrians onto the city center. They've thrown a couple of missiles. This unit is kind of just a lost cause. That's okay. Yeah, we don't have the ability to rally troops because this is a reinforcing army. So we want to keep everyone on the city center, actually. We really cannot afford to have anyone off the city center because they're just going to break. So everyone make it on the city center. I think we might be able to win this still. Let's just get everyone to fire at will. Realistically, anyone who can get a javelin in should do that now because we're going to have a hard time throwing missiles if we don't do that. All right, come on, guys. Get to the city center. This unit, they're not listening. They're caught up in battle right now, so they might break here. But we can do a lot of damage to these Volksmen with missiles. And then they're going to have to fight through 1,000 infantry on the city center. So it's not looking great now, but they're going to have breaks. They're not going to have the stamina to fight through 1,000 infantry. So, okay, yeah, we have 1 break here at the front. These Volksmen broke. And we're just going to sit on the city center and throw missiles and throw missiles and throw missiles. And I think we can win this. I'm a little concerned for when the hoplites arrive, but hoplites have really bad morale. So, as long as we have a lot of morale debuffs from the units broken, by the time the hoplites get up here, I think we have a chance at this. Just turtle up on the city center. Come on, get your missiles in. Okay, we need to manually tell them to throw their missiles. Throw your missiles there. Can you get a volley in? Sometimes you have to manually control them because they're scared to hit their allies. So you have to tell them, throw your missiles. No, it's not really working. I mean, we're doing okay. Let me see the ratio here. Yeah, we're at 12% casualties. They're at 33%. They're starting to more kind of encircle us now. So we really need to get our missiles off. Can we get some missiles in, guys? Throw further back. Maybe they'll feel more comfortable about throwing further back, because they'll be less worried about hitting allies. We want to avoid using our cavalry for as long as possible because I don't want to lose a general if possible. And it'll be useful to kind of hop around and flank any of these units if we need to. I would get a unit of Principes out on the side here and attack from the side, but they're shaken, and anyone who steps off the city center, I think, is liable to break right now. So I don't want that to happen. Let's pull my general back if possible. Ooh, this unit of hoplites broke. This is pretty tempting. I kind of want to try to cause a mass break and run them down with cavalry at this point. No, but as long as we only have one unit at a time breaking, we are risking causing our own breaks if we leave the city center. So let's just stay strong, just stay on the city center, fight these guys as they come. It's frustrating when they get their spears down because they're going to do a ton of damage to us. Especially this general's unit is in a lot of danger with the militia hoplites here. Okay, everyone except the general, just focus on this unit of hoplites, try and break them, hit them from the sides. This is where they're at their best. This cavalry is... I can't really maneuver them on the city center, which is frustrating. I can't tell them to go to one side of the city. Yeah, we're going to lose this general, unfortunately. I guess we should just charge in and try and break this unit of hoplites, because this general is going to die either way because he just keeps wandering around the city. But if we can cause a break, then at least they won't be able to have their spears down, since we're kind of getting up in their face. This general's 100% dying though, so we're going to have to find a new general for the Thracian defense. Come on, guys. Okay, now maybe he can pull back because we've kind of broken their front line here. Can we get him to drop on the city center? For a second I had it. Okay. So he's safe for now. Should we charge off the city center yet? I don't think we can. I think even with all their units breaking, I think we lose this if we leave the city center. So just stay drawn up here. Yeah, we have a unit of Principes that broke. So everyone just stay on the city center. Nobody leave. The issue is they keep breaking, retreating, and then reforming and returning. So this is going to be a long, drawn-out battle. We're not going to have any time where we can safely chase them out of the city and run them down until all of them are broken. So the good thing is, if they keep breaking, they'll take a lot of casualties, and then as they come back again and again, they'll get weaker each time, and it'll be easier for them to break. And at some point, they will all have broken, and we can chase them down. But until then, we got to stay on the city center. All right. Principes, this last unit we have that's pretty strong. Run up, try and fight these Folksmen. They're doing decently well. How's this Folksman unit? They're down to 58, they're shaken, they're exhausted. There's just a lot of infantry left, though, and at some point we're going to be out of Principes and we're just going to have Illyrian mercenaries, and then we're going to start taking more casualties. Currently, we've lost 30% of our allies and they've lost 65%, but we've lost the best 30% of our troops. Our Principes are almost all gone. So if we don't start cutting breaks, this is not going to be a victory. Come on, guys. Keep throwing missiles in. Okay, let me see if I can get this unit of 159 Illyrians to throw some missiles in. So I told them to stop. I regave them the command to fire. Can we get a good volley in? No, they're not doing it. Come on, guys. Just get a good volley in. Fire at somebody. Yeah, our commander from the original defending army just died. This unit of Folksmen broke. That's good. But they're starting to catch up on casualties. We really need to make progress quickly. We still outnumber them, but come on, get some missiles in. All right, I can feel our opportunity coming and maybe slipping away. We have a couple of units of the Thracians that are super weak at the front here. 71, 69, this one is not super weak, but we have a unit here with 14, they're wavering. I think we might need to charge our cavalry in here. Still stay on the city center, but just see if we can cause a break. Okay, we have a break here. We have a unit wavering here. Just try charging in. Okay, 2 breaks. 3 breaks, 4, that's it. That's what we were waiting for. If we had run off the city center any earlier, it would have been too early, but now we can get our cavalry out here, run down all these troops. I don't think we lost our general. We lost our commander, but yeah, no, we haven't lost our general. He's still alive, so that's incredible. First off, just try and get outside the city, run down the guys that are closest to escaping, and then we'll circle back for the others. Can he get out here? I don't know. This might be too far. Definitely not going to get these hoplites. But yeah, I think we'll get these Volksmen. And I think we've actually killed enough of the enemy for them all to disband. But we'll get some more kills for him as a reward for his excellent effort. Man, we were down to 18 Principes. We had no more heavy infantry. I'm so glad we were training that infantry up in Patavium, because without them, this 100% would have been a loss. This was close. The last like 40% of this army we ran down after they all broke at the end. And last couple units getting run down. Nice and easy.
And this day is clearly our victory.
Okay, so we deployed 1,477 and we have 575 remaining. But we did manage to kill this entire army of the Thracians. Unfortunately, we're going straight into another battle. In like 3 turns, we have to fight another Thracian army that has a general. So we need to get reinforcements ASAP. We gained 2 units of experience for my general, but we might lose those once he heals up his units. We healed 143 of our Illyrians, so we got 1 unit back, basically. So that's okay. I wish we would have gotten Principes back instead, but the Illyrians died first, so... Okay, this is what I was worried about. We are being attacked by that rebel navy. Definitely going to lose this battle. It's a shame. I don't know how we're going to navigate around in Greece. Where's that Greek fleet that had the army on it? Where did y'all go? Oh, they went south. That's smart. Is there any way that this fleet can get Marcus Julius to Greece? Let's try it. I'm a little nervous. Oh, yes. Okay. We can just get him to the southern peninsula of Greece. Perfect. So now I don't care what happens with my navy. Now that Marcus Julius has made it down near Sparta and Corinth, we have a huge advantage over the Brutii. They're going to have to fight through all these armies around Larissa and Thermon, and I mean, Larissa is an okay city. It has stone walls, so it's not horrible. Thermon is a really tiny town, though, so not really a useful place to commit their troops. Obviously, they have to take it, but I'm much more excited about my prospects down here. Now, we have to hope that Admiral Anaxandros does not land this whole army right here and fight me immediately. So let's see if we can reach that fleet next turn with what remains of my navy down here and maybe bat them away. I don't know what strength this ship has, but it looks like it's tiny. So there's a chance we can sink this army. If we can sink this army, we're so golden. But I'm expecting to have to fight them at some point. Yeah, now that the Greeks have let me into the southern peninsula of Greece, there's really not much they can do. Unless they manage to bring this huge army with all their armored hoplites, find a general like Melixkertes of Sparta, and maybe just defeat me in the field. But even then, I don't know if they could, because even with armored hoplites, I have so many archers that I think I could just crush them. I feel pretty good about this. Hopefully we can just sink Admiral Anaxandros next turn, and then we don't have to deal with this army. In that case, I'm not worried at all. We're going to have to see what happens here. Can we see how many units are in each of these cities? Not many. So, you know, there's fog of war here. There could be some big armies. They certainly do have some big armies up by Larissa. But I think if they don't manage to land this army that Admiral Anaxandros is holding, I think we have a pretty easy shot at least one of these cities, but hopefully all 3 of them. Let's take a look at our announcements real quick. Thrace has declared a ceasefire with the Scipii and SPQR. I wonder if we could negotiate a ceasefire with them. Let me get my diplomat, and I thought there was a general down here somewhere. I think there is a general down here. I want to talk to a general. Well, we could just talk to this captain. Any chance of a ceasefire? They don't want a ceasefire. Let's see if we can find that general. I feel like there is a general around here. Okay. Now, we need to really quickly retool this army and get it moving because we need to fight a couple more armies. So, what can we get? We have some Principes in Patavium. Let's join together these Illyrians. What we'll do is we will take these Illyrians and... Okay, we'll leave just 54 Illyrians behind in Sagestica. Buy any mercenaries, join up this unit of Principes, and... How is this army looking? Okay, it's not looking great. Let's bring this unit of Principes back to Patavium for repairs, and we'll build another unit of Principes. We just need a lot of Principes, I think. That's the most effective unit against Thracians at this point, because they have the missile factor, they have a little bit of staying power. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. We got a mercenary captain from buying this mercenary, so that'll be helpful. An extra star of command, definitely needed for our gloomy Decius Julius. I don't know how we improve that. How do we get him out of his blues? Hopefully if he keeps winning battles, he will no longer be gloomy. But we've got a lot to do this turn. We have to fight off Luco the Wrathful. I don't think we want to take Thapsus quite yet, but honestly, we have Captain Tertius right here. So we could have the Scipii do this fight for us again. We might do that just because there's a chance that Captain Tertius, after this turn, just runs away from Thapsus. So what I might do is I might try and just put some siege equipment on the wall, since I think I have some. Yeah, I have some siege equipment. And then if we can get Captain Tertius to just throw his little ragtag army against what they have inside Thapsus, I don't think we need to complete the siege. I think we can continue the siege after this turn. But at least we can use Captain Tertius's strength while it's here and just hammer against the garrison inside of Thapsus a little bit. We do need to, at some point, get up to Carthage and defend. We'll have to wait on that for a little bit. We need to queue even more peasants. Carthage is really unhappy with me. We're gonna have rioting in Carthage unless we figure something out. So, okay, that's frustrating. We may have to move our capital temporarily to get Carthage not to riot while it's being besieged. But okay, that is to deal with in a little bit. Let's go through the rest of our announcements. We have that Byreme and Ariminum. And where is our fleet at this point? Yeah, it's looking pretty battered. Let's bring this Byreme down. It's probably not going to get by this rebel navy, but if we can sneak it by and join it up with Admiral Appius, that will be helpful. Just have a little extra strength. I mean, this rebel navy is down to 1 ship, but I think it's still like 100 strength, one of those really strong silver chevron pirate ships, so probably not about to beat that anytime soon. Take a look at our construction report. It's just a blacksmith in Sagesta. That's good. For now, we'll just not build anything in Sagesta. We don't have a ton of money extra, but we will retrain their barbarian mercenaries just to have a little extra strength on that unit. Take a look at our end of turn report. We lost 99 denarii that turn. Not a big deal. Okay, which conflict do we want to handle first? I think Marcus Julius needs to free Mediolanium. So let's strengthen up these units of barbarian mercenaries. And let's see if Luco is willing to give battle. He usually is, but he's pretty outnumbered here. Yeah, he doesn't want to fight. Can we chase him down? Yeah, let's chase him down now. He's pretty tough. He's been in the war, so he's got some extra hit points. He's a decent general, but I mean, hopefully one of these days, just sending the war dogs after him will be able to actually kill him. He keeps coming back. So we're gonna try and kill him this time. Hopefully the dogs can eat him up. All right, you know the drill at this point. We're gonna drop a front line of a couple units of warband or our barbarian mercenaries and put a couple units on the flank. Probably not going to be actually using them that much. It's mostly going to be the war dogs doing their thing. But we'll put them out in front. We'll put the Roman general right behind the front line of our infantry and put some cavalry on the flanks in case we need them. Let's put them on this side to reinforce the weaker side. We'll start the battle, group up, and we're going to need to walk pretty far to get close to Luco. He's not going to want to do battle. He did try to flee, so we're going to have to kind of chase him down. But he's already mostly corner camping, so he doesn't have much further he can run. Go ahead and run into position. don't think he's going to be eager to start this fight. Yeah, he's just hanging out. Okay, we're in position. Let everyone rest a little bit. Let's bring everyone a little bit closer. I'm curious if we'll get any response. Will he at any point engage and actually try to start a charge, or is he just going to be cornered into the corner? Let's see. I mean, with this many war dogs, we could really just release them and probably break this army. How do we want to do this? Let's get a little closer. I'm thinking we can just honestly release the dogs onto the front of this army. We have this unit of barbarian cavalry on the right flank, which can deal with their cavalry pretty easily. So let's release our cavalry. They can start working on the enemy cavalry, get a break going. Release the dogs on 2 units on that barbarian mercenaries, 1 unit on this barbarian mercenary, and 2 units on the barbarian warlord. The rest of these infantry and cavalry, let's go ahead and run up, get them involved. Okay. We want to make sure that we don't have a break on this unit of mercenaries. No. Alright, enemy cavalry is gone. I'm a little bit concerned about our cavalry over on this flank. Okay, let's go ahead and get our handlers to withdraw. Use war cry real quick on our infantry, and let's get our cavalry to safety, these light cavalry. Oh well, they're eager. Okay, the enemy are fleeing, so let's go ahead and encircle the enemy general. We'll get our infantry in. They used war cry, and the general is dealing with 2 units of dogs right now, so this is the prime time to attack. We're going to kind of ignore this unit of enemy barbarian cavalry over here on this flank. And let's have our cavalry charge in from both sides on the enemy general. He's down to 35. He's frightened by the dogs. He's shaken. He's wavering. Yeah, he should die here. He's fleeing. I don't know if we're going to be able to catch him, but we have light cavalry, so we should be able to catch him. We will commit our general to chasing down the enemy barbarian cavalry, because the barbarian cavalry is currently going for our war dog handlers. So we want to stop them if possible. Are we going to be able to run down the enemy general? I don't think so, unfortunately. Come on. No, he's just slightly too fast. All right, what's going on over here? Yeah, our handlers, they may have to turn and actually fight the barbarian cavalry, only so that our general can catch up and save them. We're going to take some casualties here, unfortunately. I really don't want to be losing any of these handlers, but we just need the general to be able to charge into the back of this unit. Otherwise, they're all going to get run down and break. Yeah, we had a break, but enemy cavalry, how are they steady still? Shaken. There we go. Okay, they broke. So yeah, we took some casualties for sure, but could be worse, could be worse. All right, let's have our cavalry chase down any units that they can. I think we got most of the enemy. We didn't kill the enemy general, but we did kill 93% of his army. So Lugo the Wrathful escapes again. At some point, he has to get some cowardly traits, because he keeps barely escaping these battles. We lost 9% of our army, unfortunately, I think mostly war dog handlers, but let's see. So we killed 609 of them, 38 remain, basically just from the general's unit. We took a good amount of casualties to our war dogs, unfortunately. Yep, he escapes just barely. Let's send our war dogs for repairs at Patavium, or can we do that at Mediolanium? Oh yeah, we can do it at Mediolanium, so we'll do that. Mediolanium is kind of unhappy with us, so we will bring down the tax rate. Train another unit of war dogs at Mediolanium. And we'll just leave Manius Julius on this bridge for now. I'm sure we'll need him again soon, because there's another Gallic army right here. Captain Cacamatus, I'm sure, will be next. Or Brigamaglos of Aurasio. Northern Italy is secure for now. We do have another unit of war dogs. I mean, there's an argument for committing these war dogs to defending against the Thracians, but we also kind of need them for northern Italy. Let's send them to help out with the Thracians, actually. And then we'll keep training more Principes, Epitavium, and we'll train a unit of archers at Arretium. We just kind of need a lot of troops being trained in this part of the world. Honestly, I'm going to build stables in Sagestica because we need to be able to build more war dogs. We need them for the defense of northern Italy. There's just a never-ending flow of Gallic armies, unfortunately. Okay, now, do we want to try and take Thapsus as well? I think we want to try. Let's see. I mean, I wish I had the tunneling siege equipment so I could knock down the walls and just let the Scipii in. Unfortunately, we would kind of need to take a portion of wall in order to let the Scipii in. Let's try this battle. We're going to try rolling up some siege equipment to the walls, see if we can get the Scipii to do the heavy lifting for us and win this battle. Because if we can win this battle now, then we can go defend Carthage and we'll be in a much better situation. Now, we want to be as close as possible to our allies, our beloved allies, the Scipii. We want to give them the easiest possible chance of getting into the city. So let's bring all of our siege equipment over to right here. And we'll bring our reinforcements over. Everyone come over here. We're going to meet up with the Scipii. Start the battle and just make your way around the city. While we wait for the siege equipment to move, we'll relocate the rest of our army to over here. Now, what's a good portion of wall to put this tower on? Maybe... I mean, I wonder if I drop this siege equipment, will the Scipii unit come grab it? Yes. Okay, that's good to know. All right, let's drop all the siege equipment and just have the Scipii come and grab it, and we'll see what they do with it. Interesting. I know this is mean. I'm kind of bullying my allies, but in like 10 parts, when I have to go to war with my allies, you guys are not going to feel bad for them. So we're just going to get out of the way, let them come pick up their siege equipment, and they can have their fun. Y'all want Thapsus back? Take it back. And I will manage it better than you ever could. Just get out of their way. It's a little bit shaky camera because I'm trying to let this all happen on 3 times speed. It is pretty slow moving siege equipment, so we're just letting them come grab their stuff. Oh, are they just going to try the ram at first? Okay, well, that's not going to work, but once the ram burns up, then they will come grab the siege tower and ladders. They're going to take so many casualties right here from the towers. Y'all are not smart. Yeah, the skirmishers are going to get shots in. Imagine they actually make it through and break down the front gate, though. There's no way. Yeah, they're taking a lot of casualties from these skirmishers. Oh no! My Scipii friends. Oh no, guys. You're standing in front of towers. What are you doing? Oh, and the ram is taking forever. Maybe I should help them out a little bit. Like, just get the towers to the wall. All right, I'm gonna commit, no, not that unit. That's an experienced unit. We're gonna commit 1 unit of Hastati to helping out the Scipii to actually have a chance at winning this battle. We'll pick up the ladders and we'll just put the ladders on the wall right here. And then we'll just retreat whatever remains of this unit of Hastati. We'll probably lose most of this unit, but at least we will give a chance to our friends the Scipii. There's just no world in which this ram makes it all the way to the gates. It's gonna burn up in like 10 seconds. Yeah, it's burning up. Okay, they're going to pick up the siege tower now. Honestly, we can drop the ladders if they're gonna come pick them up. Oh my gosh, they've taken so many casualties. But if we win the battle, they'll heal all these casualties because they're just from the towers. So I didn't realize how much we were just absolutely destroying this army of Scipii. They're just not being very smart. It's not my fault. Okay, they have a siege tower. So they're going to try the siege tower next. And that will at least get them on the walls. That sound is so gnarly. Just the machine gun fire of arrows. Alright, siege tower has made it to the walls. I just don't think they have enough strength to take the walls at this point, but we'll see. We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Just take the towers. Come on. Oh my god. That's crazy. Okay, they've taken the walls. They've taken this tower, so they'll stop taking casualties. Now it's a question of whether they will be able to win on the walls. They sent their Velites up first, so that's not a good start, but they'll bring the Hastati up next, and that will help. Okay, who are you sending up next? Hopefully Hastati. They'll kill some Libyans. Not many, but some. Okay, we've got some Hastati coming up next. 70 Hastati. That will do better. Alright, the Hastati are starting to get involved now, and they're kind of jumping in front of the Velites, so that's good. The Velites are getting some missiles off, so they're going to do some good damage with those. Yeah, this is a much better arrangement. Hastati in the front, Velites firing over them. I wonder if they have a chance of actually winning this. Probably not, but you never know. If they can take the gateway and get their cavalry inside the city, that will be different. They have 196 equites and some war dogs, and that would do pretty well inside the city. But I still don't think we're winning this now. I mean, if I helped, maybe we could win, but I don't know. I guess they did the hard work of taking the walls, so I could help. Okay, they're sending up more Velites now. So that's not going to go great. Oh, wow. This unit of Libyan spearmen broke. So that's progress. Okay. What's next? Skirmishers. They have a pretty decent chance of beating these skirmishers. So, wow. And they've broken as well. They've actually managed to win on the walls. I wonder if they can continue this victory. Are these guys going to fight to the death? They usually do on the walls. It says they're fleeing in panic and oblivious to the world, which means I don't think they're fighting back. Usually they are like fleeing panic and fight to the death, but it doesn't look like they're fighting back. No, they're fighting back a little bit, just not very effectively. So this is a great win for the Scipii. They're going to cut through these two units pretty easily. And then whether they're able to actually take the gateway is another question. I don't know. It's good, though. They've killed 10% of the enemy inside the city. It's a good start. At this point, I mean, we might want to get involved and help out. Let's let these Hastati get up on the walls, and then we may join them as well. What is actually off the walls? They have town militia, peasants. What are you? More town militia, more peasants, Iberian infantry. What's over here? Some more Libyan spearmen, some more Iberian infantry. Okay, this is not going to be an easy battle if I get involved, but I might want to get involved. Just because if we could win Thapsus this turn, that would be pretty good. All right, let's let these Hastati get involved, see how they do, and then we might get involved as well. These Velites are wavering. They're at the front. The Hastati, they're shaken. Yeah, I don't know that they're going to win against these Libyans, but this will buy us an opportunity to get some troops up on the wall. So, can we use their siege tower? Yes, we can. Okay. Get up on the wall with this unit of Hastati. We'll just do this one unit at a time. Take the front gate. At least get the Scipii cavalry inside the city. And then we'll see what we want to do from there. Alright, just get up on the wall for now. No need to get involved in the fighting just yet. How's this fight going for the front gates? Not bad. These Libyan spearmen are shaken. The Hastati are wavering, though. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna win this. Okay, let's at least get our Hastati up to this tower so that we hold on to it in the event that all of the Scipii die up here. Because I want my general to be able to come up here and provide moral support, and as long as this tower is under our control, it's safe for him to hang out under the tower here. The Libyan spearmen broke, but are they fighting to the death or fleeing? I think they're fighting to the death, but I think the Scipii are going to manage to take the gateway now. So that's great. That means that the Scipii cavalry can get involved, the war dogs can get involved, so they'll do some more casualties that way. And let's get some more infantry and cavalry ready to get involved. Let's bring our cavalry over to right here so that if we want to send them in through the front gates, we can. And let's slow this down. Let's watch what happens at the front gates when the Scipii come in with their cavalry. So they're first going to fight against Libyan spearmen, which is tough because they have cavalry here. Equites are going to do really badly against Libyan spearmen, but they also have the gateway helping out. It has arrow holes on the back of these two towers, so they're firing down on the Libyan spearmen, and the Libyan spearmen are surrounded and outnumbered, but yeah, it's not enough. The Equites have broken. Hastati, they have a chance. I mean, they're wavering, so yeah, now that the Hastati are not up on the walls, once they break, they will not fight to the death. They'll just get cut down. But this unit of Libyan spearmen broke probably because of the dogs, and now the dogs are going to eat the whole unit. So that's a whole unit of Libyan spearmen gone. All right, we have one unit of Hastati up on the walls. Let's get our cavalry over here, and we'll draw up our Hastati over here as well. We'll get them in through the front gates. We don't want to send everyone up on the tower because that's just time consuming. But we have some Scipii inside the city, so good start. War dogs are going to continue hunting down these Iberians next, and they should do pretty well against Iberians. Iberians don't have very much armor or morale, so this unit will break pretty quickly, especially once the actual infantry arrives. Oh, I love war dogs. They're so fun. I'm so glad they're a unit. Wavering. Yep. Just this unit of war dogs is going to break this unit of infantry. That's crazy. Down to 85. Oh my goodness. Yep. Broken. And this whole unit will just get eaten by the dogs. Wow. I didn't think the Scipii were going to win this battle for me. I thought they would help, but it looks like they might actually win the battle on their own. They've killed 33% of the enemy. They've lost most of their strength, though, so still not going great for them. But, I mean, do we want to fight these units up on the walls? Part of me wants to send my unit of Hastati over to fight these units on the walls because that would encourage them to stay here on the walls instead of coming back to defend at the city center. So if the Scipii come to the city center, which looks like they're about to do, and they win here, which they will because there's just some Iberians and peasants here, I don't want all these units on the walls going and reinforcing the city center. So let's get these Hastati that we brought up on the siege tower over to fight these, looks like Libyan spearmen and skirmishers. I mean, it won't go great against the Libyan spearmen, but our goal is just to keep them distracted. So what reinforcements are they bringing from this side of the city? Town militia, skirmishers, no, town militia and peasants. That's it. Okay, so the dogs will honestly eat through a lot of the front of these units while the rest of the Scipii take the city center. So they're kind of just walking in with their Equites. Yeah, they're not too eager to get involved in this fight. But, I mean, guys, maybe run. If you're just getting shot in the back by this tower, maybe run. They're not very smart. It's okay. All right, will they win on the city center? Ooh, 159 Iberians versus 50 Equites. Yeah, they're not going to win that. But I don't know. They'll do some. No, they broke immediately. Okay, that's not great. Let's go ahead and get our infantry inside the city. We've committed to this fight at this point. We could have just ended the battle and come back later, but I actually want to win this fight now. I appreciate the assistance of the Scipii. I'm not going to let them all die in vain. So let's get some infantry inside the city. Our Hastati over here, I mean, they're gonna struggle a little bit with the Libyans. Let's maybe get our general over here just to provide moral support to these Hastati as they fight on the walls. And we'll get just a couple of units of Hastati inside the city at a time over here. We don't want to cause a bottleneck at the gates. So we got 2 units inside. Get the next 2 units ready. Okay, so yeah, these 2 drop over here. These 2 can't get inside the city, and then we'll send the next unit in. And how are we doing over here? This unit of Hastati, they're eager, and they are going to have an advantage over the Libyan spearmen, which is that they are better at fighting infantry, and spearmen are better at fighting cavalry. So we should win this battle. But Libyan spearmen also have a lot of armor, and they do have a pretty high attack stat, so this isn't going to be easy. We're both shaken. Let's get our general to sprint into position so we can provide some moral support for the Hastati. Even if they break, the Hastati will continue fighting, but they will fight much less effectively. So we want to provide some moral support. We're going to use rally troops for these Hastati and just draw my general up right here. They do have some skirmishers over here, so we have to make sure not to take too much damage from those skirmishers. Oh yeah, they're getting some Pila in. That's a good strategy. Enemy Libyans are wavering, that's good. What's happening on the city center with the Scipii? I mean, it looks like they're holding up fairly well, but they are pretty outnumbered here. These Equites coming in the rear will help out. They might break these peasants, in which case this whole block of Carthaginians will die. Alright, let's help out our friends real quick. We'll send these 5 units of Hastati to help out with fighting this block of Tau militia and peasants. With them being encircled, that may be enough to defeat them. And we'll work on getting our cavalry inside the city next. We're going to take some damage from this tower, but we just don't have time to go turn it. Maybe we could send 1 unit to go turn it real quick. Yeah, may as well, just so we're not getting shot in the back by this tower as we bring all of our units in. We'll bring in our... No, we don't want to use our missile cavalry. We'll bring in our barbarian cavalry mercenaries, though. Okay, can we take this tower real quick? What's happening with our Hastati on the walls? They're wavering, so we're going to rally troops again. They're down to shaken. Enemy Libyans are shaken as well. They're at 117, we're at 122, so we're kind of taking casualties at the same rate. But we are tying up 3 whole units just right here on the walls while we take the city. So it's not a bad thing. This unit of Hastati is hopefully going to run up on the walls. Come on, guys. Take this tower. You're just getting shot. There you go. Okay, they took this tower. And what's happening over here? So yeah, that whole block of infantry did break. I think because we showed up, so they got scared. And did they run down most of them? Yeah, a good amount. That was pretty good. Okay, let's get our infantry to take the city center now. This shouldn't be too difficult. It's just some peasants, some Iberians. They're not going to be able to break because they're on a city center, but we will pretty easily just chop them all down. Enemy commander just died, so that will help with our troops' morale as well. And what's happening over here on the walls? Okay, they're shaken. We can use rally troops again. They're down to steady, so that's good. Enemy Libyans are wavering. We're slowly winning this. Okay, what's happening on the city center? We're getting some Pila in. Good, doing good damage. These Carthaginians are no match for our heavy infantry. So, yeah. Look at this. Romans fighting side by side. As friends. Enjoy it now, because the second half of this campaign is going to be a different kind of Romans fighting by Romans, and that is going to be with each other. Alright. Captain Tertius of the Scipii just died, so they're going to have some morale issues potentially, but... Yeah, we've got 1 break. This unit of Hastati is wavering. Hopefully that doesn't cause morale debuffs from my troops. I don't think it does, because we're technically different armies. Yeah, my troops are still eager, so I think we're fine. I could get my general inside the city, but... Well, yeah, we don't really need him for this fight over here. The Libyans have broken. My Hastati are eager, so we really don't need him anymore. Let's get him over here. We'll bring him inside the city to provide a little bit of good morale just in case it's needed. And what's happening with the front gates? It's getting kind of clogged up because there's some Scipii trying to flee at the same time as my troops are trying to enter the city. Let's get our Equites involved in the fighting. What is this unit that's broken? Oh, the unit up on the walls. As soon as I left, they went from eager to broken. Yeah, okay. Well, honestly, not a super important fight. We are losing the attention of these skirmishers and these town militia. They probably want to help out with the city center. That's understandable. But that's okay. We're just going to keep fighting on the city center. I think this will be a pretty easy win. Can you guys stop fleeing? Okay. Let's get our cavalry to run into the city to hopefully clear this block so we can get our general inside. Are the Equites involved yet? Yes, they are. All right, let's get our Equites to run behind the enemy infantry on the city center, and then they'll be able to do more damage if we're attacking from multiple directions. There we go. Encircle them. Perfect. Now attack. Perfect. Gonna take more casualties this way as well, but it's worth it to kill these troops faster so we can take the city center. Once we take the city center, this battle will be pretty much over. We just need to hold it for 3 minutes, and then we win. So we're doing that. Meanwhile, they're, I think, bringing troops off the walls, or they were planning on it. Looks like they're not now. They're just trying to kill this one unit of Hastati we committed to the walls, so that's okay with me. But once we kill the last of the troops on the city center, we will put some troops in the street to block the return of any of these troops up on the wall so that they can't interrupt us from taking the city center. There we go, we have the city center. So cavalry will stay on the city center. Infantry will block up the streets. Probably won't even be necessary, but just in case. All right, we can speed this up now. We're just waiting 2 minutes and 25 seconds, and then we will own Thapsus. Not too bad of a result for me. I lost 1 unit of Stadi completely, a second unit about halfway. Not bad at all for taking a pretty big city. Now, one thing I didn't think about before taking Thapsus, it rebelled for a reason. And that reason is probably that there was a lot of population. So there's probably going to be a lot of population to enslave. Do we have generals in the right cities for us to enslave this? I don't know. All right, let's take a look at how we did. We might have another situation where we're dumping population into like 2 cities, but okay. So we killed 393 of the enemy. Wow, Captain Tertius killed 1,600 of the enemy. 381 of the Carthaginians remained at the end of the battle because we captured the city center, so they'll just disappear. Not bad for us, though. We lost about 200 troops, so very easy win for us. I think we probably could have had a better situation as far as enslaving this city. Oh, there's only 7,500 population to enslave. That's not that bad. I mean, we have a general in a couple of these different cities. Let's see. We have a general in Carthage. I mean, I guess we could try to just hold on to the city. There's not that much population here. Let's try to hold on to the city. We'll just occupy it. 15,000 population. We'll build a proconsul's palace. See, if we had enslaved the city, we wouldn't have been able to build a proconsul's palace. So this will be a large city now, which is great. We can build an archery range here. Yeah, this is a great city. All right, let's go ahead and retrain all the troops because we need to go defend Carthage. So we'll retrain all of our troops, build another unit of Principes. Nice, first Principes in Africa. And we will bring down the tax rate and increase frequency of games to daily. Oof, that still only brings us to 55% public order. Okay, can we buy any mercenaries? No. Okay. How are we going to get the city under control? I think we're just going to have to queue up a lot of troops. So we can't be using all of our build points for retraining these troops. So let's merge together these units a little bit. And we won't retrain this unit. I think they have a blacksmith here, right? Yeah, there's a blacksmith, so retraining is just giving better weapons to these units. We'll do that later. First, we want to queue up a bunch of peasants. That brings us to 65% public order. Okay, this unit, peasants. We might just have to queue up straight peasants. 70%, we're almost there. Okay, we're at 70%. Okay. Hopefully next turn, things improve a little bit. We'll build some peasants. I think we'll go up from 70% to 75%, and I think we won't have riding. But we might have riding for a little bit in Thapsus. All right, I'm curious what our reward is for this, because I think it was a major exotic unit. Basterni mercenaries. Ooh, that's a really fun reward. Basterni are really fun. They are, usually you can only purchase them near Byzantium, but they have 2 hit points. So it's an infantry unit with good morale, fast moving, 2 hit points. Stats aren't the best, attack of 11, defense of 8, but they're pretty fun. The only downside with them is you can't heal them when you use them in battle. So they're kind of situational. You know, you can use them a couple of times and then they die. Well, let's bring them over to Ariminum and we'll get them retrained with our armor, get them a little bit better stats, and we'll use them for something fun. That's a good reward. I appreciate that. And just like that, we've taken Thapsus, Carthage, and Leptis Magna with the help of the Scipii. This army of the Scipii got totally slaughtered. The other army that helped us take Leptis Magna, they didn't take that many casualties. But I cannot imagine that the Scipii are very happy about the situation. They committed huge armies, like 4 huge armies to Northern Africa, and they ended up with no cities out of it because they just did not manage their cities the right way. So they have Carolus, they have Sicily, and they have Capua, and that is it. I wonder what they're going to do next. Part of me thinks they're going to try and take out the Numidians. That would make sense. But they're my allies. Can they even do that? I'm not 100% sure. But we'll see what they do. They certainly have a lot of armies in this part of the world. They might take Palma. That would be a really good city for them to take if I don't get to it first. Yeah, for now, I feel pretty good about Northern Africa. We just need to hold on to these cities. But I think we'll manage it. All right, what's going on in the world right now? So we defended Northern Italy. We took Thapsus. We've landed Marcus Julius in the southern peninsula of Greece. We're in a pretty good position. Let's go ahead and end this turn. And hopefully nothing bad happens. We're a little bit fragile right now. Oh. Interesting. Well, I kind of wish I hadn't sent off all my war dogs to be retrained. Where did you come from? This guy must have... I guess he was over here in the fog of war. Okay, this will be interesting. So, Brigamaglos of Orausio, how are you? 2 command stars. He's decent. He's young. He's bringing 1,400 troops, which is more than I have. He has 6 units of warband, and he's attacking us on a bridge. Always a bad idea to attack us on a bridge, but that's usually when we have war dogs to help out with the defense. Manius Julius is definitely a better general. He's got 5 stars of command, 6 wreaths of influence, and a lot of heavy cavalry. But with this many mercenaries, we're gonna have pretty poor morale. So this isn't a guaranteed battle. I still think we're gonna win this pretty handily, but we have to be a little bit careful. Okay, you know the drill with bridge battles. It's always the same. Yeah, I really wish we had a support troop of some kind, but we do have a lot of infantry. So they're poor morale, but there's a lot of them. So, okay. Go ahead and run into place, get there. We're gonna just have this V of infantry that we always have. Have our general bring up the rear for morale. Have our cavalry bring up this flank. Have this unit of mercenaries bring up this flank. And then these 3 units, once they're in position, use war cry. That will boost our attack. Perfect. And attack from all 3 sides on this unit of warband. We're gonna have 10 higher attack than them, so this first unit of warband is gonna get absolutely chopped through while we have a war cry active. We're already down to steady though. Our morale is gonna be really bad in this battle. We really need this first unit to break if possible. They're wavering, so if they break, we're good, but they've got a warlord. So we need to be very careful. We need to watch the morale of our troops. They're down to shaken, this unit. Warcry has run out. Come on, guys. Let's use Warcry on this unit in the back. They're probably not even going to see any action, but we'll just get them committed to the battle, just so everyone feels like they're supported. Keep an eye on morale. If we need to use rally troops, we will. Once this hits wavering, we'll use rally troops. Okay, enemy general's dead. This is one. There we go. Yeah, this first unit broke right away because they lost the morale from the general. This unit of warlord is wavering. Okay. Honestly, this is pretty much won at this point. We're just going to let our infantry charge in. Kill this unit of warlord. There we go. Yep, chase. Okay. Since they're attacking from the south, I think they're going to flee to the south, which means they're actually going to run away from us. When we're fighting from the other side of the bridge, which we usually are when they're attacking from the Alps, they always flee south, which is through my troops. So I always manage to kill all of them as they flee. But this time, since they're attacking us from the south, they're fleeing to the south. And that means they're not fleeing towards us, they're fleeing away from us, which is why it's good that we have light cavalry that can pursue them. So hopefully we're able to kill a lot of the fleeing troops here. Yeah, we should be able to catch up to most of them. How many of them have we killed? 24%. So we need to kill a lot more. We need to kill another like 600 troops for the enemy to fully disband. But it's good we killed the enemy general. He was a decent start to a general, so good that we got those kills. Let's have our cavalry focus on the infantry that is at the back of this army. We don't need to kill any more of the enemy warlord because since the actual general himself died, this unit will just disband. But yeah, we want to chase down as much of the infantry as possible. Come on, guys. Honestly, I might tell them just to run out in front so they don't worry about actually attacking. Yeah, there we go. This unit of light cavalry is just chopping through all of the fleeing Gauls. There we go. They got some experience. This is great experience for them. These all count as kills. Even though they're just running down fleeing troops, these count as kills. There you go. Good for you. Okay, now go chase this unit. You chase this unit. We'll have some infantry just chase these straggler units that are kind of running in random directions. And just let the cavalry do the rest. We're up to 90%, so we could just end the battle now. But we'll get some more experience. Doesn't hurt. There you go. Get some more kills. Don't think we'll get a second chevron of experience for this unit of cavalry, but that's okay. We'll let them get a few more kills. There's a chance. Every chevron of experience gives you, I think, +1 attack and +1 defense stats. So for a unit like these mercenaries, let me pause it and look at their stats. They have attack of 9, defense of 11. So every chevron of experience improves their combat effectiveness by like 10%. So there we go. They got 1 chevron. That's good. Heroic victory. Yeah, I don't know if that was heroic. It wasn't too difficult. Bridge battles are usually pretty easy, but I'm glad we were able to win that without any war dogs. So we lost about 89 troops, killed 1,400. Nice and easy. All right, we have been tasked with blockading Sparta because our other mission has been canceled because the Brutii did manage to take Thermon. So, okay, we will have games thrown in our honor at the Senate's expense if we blockade Sparta. That's reasonable. We might do that. Honestly, my top priority is absolutely sinking Admiral Anaxandros here. So let's attack with this fleet. I hope we can beat Admiral Anaxandros. And my goal is for us to attack him, win that battle, and then he gets batted towards this fleet. And then we're able to finish them off and hopefully sink them. So attack. Okay, they're down to 32. Where are they going? Ah, they went the wrong direction. That's a shame. All right, well, we'll keep pursuing them. Hopefully they never land their army over here. Yeah, they're down to 14. Oh, that's such a shame. Okay, we're gonna have both of these fleets target this navy. Hopefully we can catch Admiral Anaxandros before he lands his army. I wonder if he was trying to make a break to land up here near Tarentum or Croton. Popularity gained with the masses and the Senate. So that's great. Let's see how popular we are. I have a sneaking suspicion that is because I sorted out the issue I had where I had way too much money in my coffers last part. We're up to 7 out of 10 popularity with the Senate and 4 out of 10 with the people. But that's pretty high. I don't usually see it go that high. I guess they also could be happy with us for taking back Thapsus. That was kind of like an additional mission that we were given, and we did do that. Lots to do this turn. Let's take a look at our diplomatic information. Scipii and SBQ are back at war with Thrace, obviously. Thrace is allied with Gaul, that makes sense. And Armenian Pontus Pontus and Armenia are client kingdoms, okay. In Iridium, we got some archers. We retrained our Basternize in Ariminum. Let's look at their stats now. Attack of 12, defense of 9. Pretty fun. We will... Ooh, what do we want to use them for? We could have them go chase down this rebel army, see if we can get a general to promote out of it. But we'll wait for now. We'll just let them hang out. We have this unit of peasants in Ariminum. Let's use that to move population over to Mediolanium, because we are still working on growing that city. And what do we want to do? I mean, I wish I could take this army that we've been using near Sagestica to fight the Thracians, and I wish we could go retrain them at the armor in Ariminum. We're not currently under attack by the Thracians, so we could do that. Maybe let's do that real quick. We will take all these troops and we'll bring them down to Ariminum, retrain them, and let's build a bireme in Ariminum, so once they're retrained here, we can bring them back over to defend against the Thracians if we're getting attacked. But I think it'll make a big difference for my Illyrians to get a little extra missile attack, take them up to 11 missile attack, and get some armor for my Principes. So yeah, that'll be worth doing. I have to remember to drop this unit of Principes off in Patavium, because that's the only place we can retrain them. So we'll do that. We'll build one more unit of Principes in Patavium. And honestly, at some point, we should probably retrain these barbarian mercenaries as well that we've been using to defend against the Gauls. But we'll do that once we have our war dogs back in commission. So we'll retrain these war dogs, get them to hang out with Manius Julius, and then we'll take his barbarian mercenaries and retrain them at Ariminum. Let's take a look at our construction report. We completed a large temple of Ceres at Ariminum. So what do we want to build here next? I have a pretty strong preference at this point for building a shipwright. And I think I want to do it here because Ariminum is a pretty good location for sending ships out to the Adriatic. I'm just so tired of these rebel fleets having to use biremes all the time for fighting them off. So I need triremes. The difference is crazy between biremes and triremes. Biremes have attack of 6, defense of 7, 80 soldiers. Triremes have 120 soldiers, attack of 8, defense of 8. So they are better on attack, defense, and they have more soldiers, which means they are just so much better at fighting off, especially those really tough rebel fleets. Take a look at our faction announcements. Manius Julius got superior commander thanks to that most recent battle, because it was a bit of a closer battle. So better chance at getting really good traits from winning a battle that's closer. Wow, he's really good. 4 stars of command, 7 wreaths of influence, really good. Glad he's my faction heir. Games were held at Thapsus. Obviously, yes, they would be held there as we're doing daily games there to keep control of the city. Let's unqueue all these peasants. If possible, I wouldn't like to have that many peasants queued because that really destroys the population. No, we do need to have a good amount. Queue that many peasants and then we will retrain a couple units. We want to retrain these units with the blacksmith, just get them a little bit stronger. Once these units have been repaired, we will be able to send some troops up to defend Carthage. But they still haven't built any siege equipment. They're just starving us out for now. Even if they had siege equipment, if they tried to take the city, they would totally lose that. So as long as we free Carthage before 6 turns from now, when we would just be starved out, I'm not at all concerned about this siege in Carthage. The defense of it would be easy. We'll take a look at our end of turn report real quick. Lost 2,000 denarii that turn. Not a big deal, that's okay. Now, there's a lot of excitement going on in this part of the world in southern Greece. What do we want to do first? Because we have ballistas, so we could take Sparta this turn. We can reach them this turn, so we can take it this turn. But we have to be a little bit careful because we only have 1 army down here, and they have a lot of armies in this part of the world. So if we take a lot of casualties one time, we really cannot replace them, except with mercenaries. We've got some hoplites and some peltas we could buy. But yeah, be careful. So do we want to just take Sparta right now? I kind of do want the last thing that I did this part to be taking Sparta. That would be kind of fun. I just want to make good progress against the Greeks. I'm getting nervous about how much progress the Brutii are making. Once they take Larissa, there's nothing stopping them from getting down here and taking Athens. So, I mean, yeah, it looks like there's a lot of strength in this part of the world, but that's just 2 or 3 auto-resolved battles away from Larissa being Brutii. So, are we actually able to have this battle in Sparta? We're not going to get ambushed or anything? No, next turn we can take Sparta. Okay, well, that'll be exciting start to next episode. So we'll take Sparta. I think with 2 ballistas we can knock down standard stone walls. Oh, guys, look at this army. Spartan hoplites, armored hoplites, 2 experience with better weapons, attack of 12, defense of 24, good morale, and they have archers on stone walls. Ooh, I don't know if we can win that by just breaking through the walls. We're gonna try, but I would prefer to fight them obviously in the open field. With this many archers, we could just destroy those armored hoplites. But dang, that's scary. And there's a big army at Corinth too. Ooh. Well, yeah, that's a little concerning. And if Admiral Anaxandros manages to land this fleet at Sparta, that's not good. I'm curious, after losing this many battles, are the Gauls ready to just have peace? They keep losing their generals. They keep losing full armies. Let me just offer them peace. No, they don't want it. I mean, I don't really need it because it's not costing me that much to keep defeating their armies. But at some point, I mean, they could be making so much more progress if they just attacked the Germans or the Britons or Spain. They're never going to take back Mediolanium. So I don't know why they keep doing this. Should I just build a ship to get rid of Admiral Lycomedes and this little army that's hanging out next to Sagestica? I mean, they haven't done anything. They've just been hanging out. But I'm going to do that just because may as well sink an army when you can, right? Hurts their economy. And as much as I probably should just end this part, I'm going to give y'all one more turn because I'm just curious what's going to happen. Curious what's going to happen in Greece. Oh, Greece wants a ceasefire. Well, that's not happening. I mean, if you gave me Sparta, okay, Sparta's a capital. If you gave me, Rhodes, that would be interesting because that's not a city I can easily get. No, they can't give it to me. They would never accept that. Looks like the Numidians are hanging out next to Leptis Magna, so hopefully they're not about to betray me, but I don't think they would. Spain, they want a ceasefire again. Of course I will accept it because I want trade with them and I don't want them to be besieging Carthage. I don't know why they keep doing this. They're doing the like medieval to Portugal thing where they just send random armies to attack you and then make peace with you and then attack you and make peace with you. It's just frustrating. Okay, Admiral Appius, this reinforcement Byreme is being attacked by Admiral Cleombrotus. We outnumber them 2-1, but they have gold chevron and it's a much tougher unit. So we're probably gonna lose this realistically. Whew. That's crazy, you rarely see that. That Byreme got sunk immediately. Jeez, that's crazy. Okay, now, wow, Admiral Anaxandros still has not tried to land his army. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna commit 1 Byreme to fighting Admiral Anaxandros because we also have reinforcements from the Brutii here. So we will win this. And we sunk it. Perfect, that is awesome, okay. So these 3 Byremes together, I don't know if they could beat Admiral Cleombrotus here if he attacks. So we might lose these Byremes, but we just sunk a full stack army with armored hoplites with like really good quality troops. So that's a huge blow to the Greeks. Do any of these fleets have armies on them? Yes, this Brutii fleet has an army on it. Okay, so we need to get into action against the Greeks here. I mean, we'll besiege Sparta. I don't know. If we attacked, I don't think we would win this. I mean, we might win this, but we would take a lot of casualties. So I'm going to just besiege Sparta for a bit. See if our allies land a bunch of armies nearby that we can use in this battle against Sparta. Or even better, if they muster an army from Corinth and try to attack us in the field to relieve Sparta. That would be ideal because we have ballistas, we have a lot of archers. We would do a lot of damage to them with our missile troops, especially to those really heavy hoplites if they attack us in the field. But just taking Sparta this turn doesn't seem like a good idea. So we're not going to do that. We're going to wait and see. But if a bunch of armies land and start besieging these other cities, I'm going to need to act and I'm going to need to take Sparta and just move quickly because I want to get at least 2 of these cities if possible. But for now, we're going to just besiege Sparta. Let's take a look at our diplomatic information. Spain and Julii have declared a ceasefire. Gaul has declared a ceasefire with the Scipii and the Brutii. None of this stuff lasts, obviously, but that's okay. we have our new bireme at Iridium, so we can see if we can sink this army. The ship has 19 strength, but a lot of experience. I don't know if we're gonna... No, we lost that. Wow. Well, we'll keep trying. We'll attack again next turn. Just keep battering against this fleet until it sinks. We'll build one more bireme. That probably is enough to do it. And then we'll just sink this army. We trained a good amount of troops up, and we're bringing Decius Julius back for some repairs. Okay, perfect. Yeah, there's no more action from the Thracians. Looks like they're taking a break for now. So we have time to go get some retraining for our Principes, for Decius Julius's army. We'll take them to Ariminum next turn and get them retrained. Get them some... Do we want to give them archers or give archers to Manius Julius? We'll give some archers to Decius Julius. I think he needs them more. And now that we have our war dogs in Mediolanium, I thought we would be able to retrain them. It says no units can be retrained, so that might mean that we actually didn't lose any handlers, and they're just slowly regenerating the dogs that go with the handlers. So that's strange. I thought we did lose some handlers, but okay. We'll take it. Let's get those war dogs out of Mediolanium, reunite them with Manius Julius. If we get besieged by Captain Cacomatus, that's okay. He's just got a lot of warband, so we'll just bring Manius Julius up to free Mediolanium. But I always want to be fighting in the field with these armies. I don't like fighting on the defensive in these little towns that aren't like stone walls. And stone walls, it's nice to be on the defensive inside the city, but with these towns, I'd rather fight in the field. We'll take a look at our construction report real quick. Sagestica completed Governor's Villa. Finally, Sagestica is up to a large town. That took way too long. Do we want to go straight for mines level 2? I think so. That takes us from 500 mining income a turn to 875. Oh my god, that's amazing. 875 is crazy. That's like 5 units upkeep permanently. That's crazy. So we'll do that. Really excited Sagestica's finally growing. Patavium, we got our cavalry stables. So we could go straight to like Hippodrome or army barracks, because once we get past those Marian reforms, it's going to be really nice. But, I mean, wow, we're almost at 24,000 population. 21,000 population with a 3% population growth rate. We're going to be up to a huge city very soon. I guess it's a question of what we want to be able to train. I think it's nice to be able to train heavy cavalry from at least one city. So let's build a hippodrome in Patavium, and we'll focus on an army barracks in another city, maybe. But we really need to invest quickly. I mean, we're rapidly approaching the mid-game and the Marian reforms. All right, let's take a look at our end of turn report. We gained 5,400 profit that turn, which is pretty good. But I mean, I get a sneaking suspicion that we don't have actually a lot of money right now. We've got 2,600 denarii. It's kind of hard to know how much we actually have because we have these buildings queued to keep our balance low so we don't get bad traits. But like Legion Barracks and Forum, that's a couple, like 4,000 queued there. Other than that, I don't think we have a lot of buildings queued in other places. So I think we've kind of sneakily run out of money pretty quickly. So hopefully we can start making a little more money as well in the next couple of turns. We just have so many big armies right now. We've got an army defending Italy, an army defending against the Thracians. We've got a big army in Carthage. We've got an army in Thapsus. We've got an army in Greece. All that's probably not entirely necessary. So we want to at least do something productive with those armies. I think we might muster the troops in Carthage and Thapsus and reassign them somewhere soon. So we'll start thinking about that in the next part. But I think we are at a wonderful stopping point. I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all are enjoying this series. This is so fun. I love playing as a Roman faction. Like, I had a great time playing as Spain, playing as Dacia, but there's just so much complexity to playing as the Romans, dealing with your allies, especially dealing with Senate missions, and you're just the target of everyone. I'm sure I'm going to be fighting the Numidians soon. I'm fighting the Gauls. I'm fighting the Greeks. I'm fighting the Thracians. I'm sure Dacia and Germany are going to get involved soon. And then we have to worry about fighting our allies. So there's just so much more to worry about and balance. I don't know. I love this campaign. But hopefully you're enjoying it as much as I am. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all are doing great, and I'll see you next time.